I got him. It's different. It's different. I got him. It's different. It's different.
I used to be in the corner, them lights out.
I got him.
This different little nigga.
It's different.
This different little nigga.
It's different.
This different. I used to be in the corner, them lights out.
I got him.
This different little nigga.
It's different.
This different little nigga.
It's different.
This different. Walk 'em down.
Walk 'em.
Walk 'em down.
Walk 'em.
It ain't nowhere to
What up
run
with it?
to. Walk 'em down.
Walk 'em.
Gotta bend the corner sometime. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Chaos in the building.
Yeah.
You know, you guys featuring TSU Surf, man. Another spitter from up north. You know what I'm saying? New Jersey's finest.
Nice.
But hey, man, New Jersey hits Texas tonight.
Yeah,
Feel me?
for sure.
You know, welcome first of all, man.
Thank you for having me.
You hit it when we was hot too. I bet you was like, God damn.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? It's like I noticed people just find their way to Texas right now.
I'm a Cowboy fan, so I've always been like,
God, how you pull that off, man?
my father was a Cowboy and Laker fan. I just stuck with
You
it.
sound like Hove. You know, Hove said he a Cowboy fan because his daddy was watching. It's like, God damn, because I thought, you know, it was strictly Giants and
I hate
Jets
the
up
Giants. It's crazy. I hate the Giants.
Man, and that's crazy. Most people, you like the Jets.
No, I'm gonna
there. You say he Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I'm really
bro.
like-
he really about this.
all the way.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it ain't been looking too good for him this year, man.
but we be all right.
F it.
We get it together.
But now, man, first of all, appreciate again. That was the single Bend the Corners, man. First of all, man, how you doing tonight, my boy?
I feel good, man. You know, just trying to take in this whole Texas, this feel, man. You know, it's it's cool. A lot of freeways, highways, you know. But
It's a lot of open space,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. It's beautiful when you come through, everything lit up. You know, like you coming through, $1 million atmosphere.
I ain't gonna lie, man. You know what I noticed from people that come, especially from up north, is what they realize is how open, like you say, how open everything is. But you realize like how laid back everything is out here. That's one thing I get from the East Coast, and that's why I love the rawness of the East Coast, is because I feel like everybody is kind of just like on their own type of time. They don't bother nobody unless you like. And like out here, like people are speaking, invite you. You might end up in a fucking 15-minute conversation. Don't even know how you got here out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that just happened to me the other day. I'm just trying to get me some breakfast tacos, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Why are we sitting here talking about your time in the military? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to worry about that shit, New Jersey. Nigga ain't even go. Hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. You got to put your earphones in if you don't want to get the convo out here. But man, so give us a little insight, man, about telling people about us, where you from, man, what you got going on.
It's your boy Chaos, man. You know, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I'm just pushing my project right now. Top of the year, we're dropping an album called Crown Heavy. So right now I'm working the singles. Actually, Been the Corners featuring TSU Surf, and my other single, Yeah, we pushing those two real hard right now. And I'm just trying to just build the buzz back up, man. I took a little hiatus, just getting into where I dropped the book. I did some acting, so I was just touching a few different things. But now I'm back.
Oh, so you in your artist bag for real in all genres.
Dope.
So let's kind of work our way up to that. You say you took the hiatus. What caused the hiatus? What was like? Did you just kind of like wanna?
Actually, my brother sent me a video one day of my nephews rapping my songs, and it actually let me know how crazy my lyrics were. And I didn't want them to feel like I was glorifying it. But it's really like it's my life, so it's not like. It's how I grew up, so I had to really come to terms with myself that I'm not trying to tell you go and do it, because if you listen to the music, it's always a message like how it ends or how it can go, but it's my story.
Yeah,
I can't be embarrassed of my story.
And I think that's one thing I noticed with hip hop is, especially when the consumer does not align with the lyrics or the messaging. And to hear somebody spew it, it's almost like it's fantasy land. It's all entertainment.
Yeah.
But they don't understand it's real pain that comes from those stories, those lyrics. And that's, I think, what it draws people to hip hop so much.
Yeah.
Because you hear stories a lot of times that align with the same struggles, but from different parts of the country.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why so many people gravitate, because it's a voice of struggle almost. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I always ask artists, man, before we get into it, what's the first rap song, first artist, first video that you consumed as a kid that you was like, man, I love this thing? Yeah.
I think, man, might have been as a kid. Shaheem, how do you say it? Shaheem the Rugged Child.
Okay.
Or either like Criss Cross jump. Like,
nah, every dude wants to be Criss Cross.
Yeah, they had
it
that
depends on what
swag,
era
bro.
you came in. If you came in the Criss Cross era or the Bow Wow era, because that's what the girls they had
Right.
the fly. They had the fly gear. You know what I'm saying? They had the girls in the videos, but that shows you like the performance. Because we had an interview prior to this, and we asked that, and it's always dope when you see a kid pretty much mimic something.
yeah.
But sometimes people have that, but it's like you can be talented, you can have a gift, but to actually pursue it, that's the hard part.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because especially in the rap game or in music period, you got to invest in this early on before you really make anything off of it. So it's sacrifices that go into it and everything like that. So kind of tell us how you kind of got started in, hip hop and in rap, because I know you did poetry kind of leading up to that. So you feel like that kind of gave you your base?
No, because my poetry was in public.
Okay.
I use poetry more so of like just getting out my feelings because I didn't really talk to people.
Okay.
Like as far as what I was going through. Actually, kind of growing up, I joked a lot, just kind of to offset what I was going through. And then I heard Tupac, and I'm like, man, people was like accepting him for his, his pain, his struggle, and I gave it a shot from there. I started out in a group with my brothers and a few of my friends. And I just kept going as they kind of took the business side of things, and I just kept going with the music.
Okay. It's dope that you actually mentioned that with Tupac, because that always kind of coincides with who your motivations were.
Yeah, that's my favorite artist.
Hey, that's heavy coming from an East Coast guy, because I think a lot of times people feel like they got to be bipartisan. One got to be big or Pac, but it's like who did you relate to? A lot of times it's based on like you could align with somebody, but who gave you that feeling? I feel like the delivery sometimes can hit you, or it can be just one song or one message that stands out to you that somebody can't capture. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was Pac energy. Energy is everything.
Yeah.
With Biggie, I really didn't listen to like Jay-Z and Biggie and nobody till Pac died.
Wow.
Real be honest with you, I dropped tears when Pac died.
Hey man, me too. I was 9 years old, bro. My mama was crying, so I cried. You know what I'm saying? But I knew it was heavy.
Yeah. So it's just his energy, and when he speak, when you come from, and he wasn't all the way like a street background. It was kind of the whole political kind of So, but I'm not political, but more of the Black Panther, But my thing was, it just was when he spoke, you heard the intelligence behind it. Where a lot of times people judge us as being ignorant, or that's this person from the street or this thing, but nobody never sit down and talk to you about your decisions or where your heart is. And sometimes you got to be able to voice your opinion. Like when I'm doing my music and I get a chance to talk, like you're gonna understand me after that. You're gonna be like, nah, he has some intelligence. It ain't just this person that come from the block and he's the ignorant person. I help old ladies down the street with their bags. We sit on the porch and they come out their house. And we get off their porch and let them. Morals. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes we just made some bad decisions. And I think when you hear Tupac speak, it made a lot of sense to the point where it kind of scared people.
I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure you been to Vegas.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas.
Y'all been to the MGM?
Yeah.
When I went my first time about last month, man, and I kind of blocked Pac out because I was pissed off. Like I was just pissed off on, I love Pac. Yeah. Like I was just loving Pac. And then I heard Biggie first album, and I was just like, whoa. And I just really was just pissed off at how Pac was just gave this persona and was just coming with so much wrath. And I was just like, man. So I blocked all my feelings, and then all came back at once. When I'm like, I didn't even dawn on me that I was standing at the MGM.
Yeah, he hit me up. Yeah.
And listen, and I'm like, nigga, I just walked through the floor where he got into a fight at. And then I'm like, we riding down the street. Like, I can see how you can ride up and no lights. I did not know they don't have no street lights really. Yeah. When you leave off the strip, it's dark as shit.
Yeah.
So all the feelings of what you were saying about Pac, why I like Pac came back in once. But back then, how you was I cried. Yeah. I was mad. I was like, man, I ain't even listening to no more Pac at all. I don't.
Oh, it was picking sides at one point. You know, that was real, and that shows you, and that kind of goes into I feel like the hard part of hip hop sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like you say, people make perceptions about what hip hop can be one thing, but my morals are withstand.
Yeah.
And so do you feel, especially with so many people gravitating to the bullshit sometimes, or things that's more reckless as far as content and commentary, is it hard to, do you feel like it's harder to maintain or find your voice in a hip hop game in today's age where it's shock value and things of that nature?
If you're insecure, yeah. Because you'll find yourself trying to fit in, or you might go through some deep depression or something, like nobody's listening. But I think if you know that, say like when people post a picture, right?
Yeah.
And if they don't get a certain amount of likes, they'll take that picture down, right?
Yeah.
But how I look at it is the people that like it actually show me where your intelligence is, how you think. So that's my base. I'm not gonna erase my picture. I'm not gonna erase my post. If it get 5 likes, if it get 1 likes, if it get 1,000 likes, that's my base.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't take that. They be like, man, this picture crazy. Only 10 people like them. I'm gonna take it down. I try to get later or something like that. And you get wrapped up in the whole world of chasing the image of everything else. And that's another thing. Like with the kids today, most rappers is showing them the most ignorance possible on social media platforms, and they ain't never been through no pressure in their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's what irks me though, as a consumer sometimes, is how back in the day, and I hate to be the back in the day guy, but you have to be able to compare a time when versus the time now. There's no struggle in the beginning for artists. What I mean, quote unquote, like when somebody hits the game now, you find them, they already got the look of the rapper, they flexing. It's like, God damn, ain't nobody broke coming, motherfucker. Cause I felt like you got that with, DMX. You knew, like, man, it's this or nothing. Like, and now it's like some people just do it because they had a following. Like some people get in hip hop because it's so easy to create now and get your music out there. Like some people just do it because they had a following and they see it. They like, shit, fuck it. I'm gonna make some songs so my boys can fuck with. It's like, so the passion is not there all the time. Exactly. So I think that waters down the sound and the content. So you got to really be, you got to be active in trying to find a certain type of content sometimes. So that's why you said, creating your base, because your base will find you. And your base will grow, but also that's sustainable. Because some people get in the game and they're just hot.
For sure.
Do you want to have a moment or do you want to have a career? Like, do you want to be designer or Currency? Look at somebody like Currency ain't getting on no radio, but he ain't, he ain't the one that's going on like the big arena tours.
But he know who he is.
He know he is. So when you find that pocket, it's so easy for you to create there because I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm not conforming. So I want to ask you about what is something you've learned about yourself this year? With the pandemic going on, it kind of stopped a lot of like art. It kind of stopped, so you can create, but as far as being able to move it and navigate and cultivate relationships, it's been a little difficult. What have you found out about yourself, first of all, as an artist, or just as someone who's trying to create, and also what have you found out about yourself this year, just overall as a person?
As an artist, I think that I've taken in more exactly of what's going on, everything that's kind of going on around us, how to make it still, how to rap and keep them interested with a message in it, as far as like what we going through, or COVID, where we wearing masks now, but like in my city, the mask is being used to go to war and stuff like that, So when I, it's like, let me show them how serious it is. But you have a young kid that might be rapping your music and they talking about the mask because they hear to my rhyme. And when somebody really sit there and think like, hey, man, we got it kind of bad up here, So that's just a message of being able to bring the life to that. Overall, I think personally for me, I've always been on the entrepreneur trail and building like a legacy to change the chains of just struggling check to check, and want my kids to go further than I have. Yeah. And I think from being like the homeschool and all this stuff, it allows you to see that you can miss a lot of moments, and that work, all the overtime, all these things. You can miss a moment that your child needs you more than anything in this world. So I'm just incorporating everything that I do with my kids.
And I think that's the one one of the dope things about 2020 is it forced a lot of us to be still and actually pour into the relationships that have been there.
Yeah.
Because you kind of took for granted, especially it might be mates, it might be kids. It's like you were forced to interact.
Yes.
And you were forced to kind of take away a lot of distractions. And so that's one of the things that I actually, appreciated about this year. It was like you had to, like our networks became smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really realized who rocked with you also at this time. When things are slow, when there's not a lot of noise, when the access to something is not beneficial to you, are you really tapping into who you tapping in? What relationships were able to make it out of this pandemic? I feel like that's when you start realizing who's really for you and who's for your movement.
Yeah.
Being for me is one thing. Being for my movement, what it can bring to you or the potential of my movement is another thing. And so do you feel like that's one of the hard things with you also? Because you know how to say the world is flat now with the internet, YouTube, and everything like that. Do you, if someone that never heard your music and they ask you, okay, what am I getting when I hear a Chaos album? What do you feel like your core is as far as the sound? Do you feel like I have the East Coast pocket, or do you feel like I'm versatile? I can be whatever I need to be at that moment. Like, because you know how people try to box in, regionalize a sound now, and I feel like that's not the case these days.
I just get to your heart.
Yeah,
I get to your heart. My music. I'm a one way or another. If I talk about struggle, if I talk about love, if I talk whatever I talk about, you might change it around a little bit, but you're gonna relate to it some way. So I'm gonna get to your heart. So I'm not boxing. You can't box me in because I done been in the South and hear my music and be like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you struggle in the South like you struggle up north, you fall in love everywhere, like you get your heart broke everywhere. So I capture your heart.
That's one of the best answers I ever heard somebody say that. Cause it's real. You can't, like, that's the one thing, we all got it pumping. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why I hate it, because I hate when people regionalize the game, because I see a lot of the commentary, especially with the South. The South has always felt like it was looked over, even when it's booming right now in the music.
Get it out the mud,
it's like,
from the street.
Y'all gonna hear us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Anger.
It's like it's that, and I hate how sometimes you kind of split the room. It's got to be so competitive. The West Coast versus South, the East Coast versus South, and that's why I like that you said I'm gonna get to your heart, because I look at somebody like a Nipsey Hussle. People gravitated to him no matter where you were, because the sound, as far as it's coming from a real place.
Yeah.
And the validity in his content and the authenticity. The authenticity is the one thing I think people don't realize people gravitate to.
Yeah.
So I really want to know, and it's more about kind of leads to your motivation. How they always say, like, if I could just get in the studio, if I could just pick the brain of one person, or if I could just create a moment with one person. Who is that one person? It could be dead or alive. It could be Pac, anybody. Who is that one person like I would want to create a moment musically with them?
Musically, man. I mean, I think it's like an even split between Nip and Pac.
Ooh.
Hey, they in that same vein, man. He want that thoroughness. You know what I'm saying? And so that.
Hold on. If you had those two, how would you line that up on one track?
Yeah, let's get into your producer bag. How you line it up? You want to start it off with that rah with Pac, or you on the smooth vibe?
No. We actually going something thought provoking. Like, but not consciousness, but like just real, man. I Nip on his song Racks in the Middle, right?
Yeah.
The second verse, man. That second verse, like, get to your heart. Like,
he talking
when he say a lot of people miss Nip music. People jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
But when you hear them words and he say that one line, looking back at my life, make my heart race, that line tore, man, it tore me apart, because when you come from something like that, like he really
near
meant,
misses, bro.
He meant that. You know, and I think like Pac also, everybody have the one-liners that you know, like these person, they came from something. So I guess something where we giving hope too. You know, we giving a struggle, but we giving hope. Like, you know, just not the rowdiness, not nothing rowdy, just something people ride to. Like, damn, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, my ideal songs a lot of times are them night riders. I call them night riders. It's like you on the way back home, man, and I just want to put on some shit. It's a big boy talk. You know what I'm saying? It's like damn, I visualize it. I was there. I know that struggle, and that's why certain artists I think are made for certain parts of your life. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's so hard to gravitate to new artists for me, like that are younger. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm 34 years old. It's hard for me to relate to a 21-year-old telling me about life sometimes. And so that's why I love the fact that a lot of the OGs dropped this year.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that a lot of age-appropriate music for me came out. Because like you said, it's thought-provoking. I can visualize this out, whether it be relationships, struggles, kids, whatever it might be, man. You tap into that. So what is the one thing that you said that you feel like, do you have a song that, okay, you know how they always say, if I had to lead somebody in my music and I needed you to know me at this point, or this is the most transparent song, do you have a track that you would lead somebody to?
Man, I have a lot. I'm trying to think which one would be it's so much pieces of me in all my music. It had to be one. Man, that's hard. That's a real hard one.
I ain't mean to put you on the spot, because you know I love to hear that from artists. Like, what's the one where you like, damn, I poured on the pad on this one.
Man, I dropped a lot on a lot of them songs. Like, I'm being honest, man. It's hard. It's hard to pick one. Be honest, because it's like, man, that's a hard question, bro. Like I had a mixtape series called Never Change, right? And each one was just me all over there. Like I was pouring pain from part 1 to part 3. Yeah. So it's hard to just get one song out. I don't know. This guy did an interview the other day. He said, man, he actually went and found the mixtapes. He said, I feel like I was like watching like The Godfather or The Sopranos or something. Like listen to each album and hearing he grew with me on each one, so it's kind of hard to just pick a song. Maybe Hate If You Wanna. I have a song featuring Troy Ave, Hate If You Wanna. Okay. Maybe that I Gave You My Life. You know, just saying how I started and how I'm gonna end. So,
what is the end for you? What do you like? What is end goal, or like what do you feel like you got that bars like I made it? Like, do you have that? Do you know what that looks like to you? What's that pinnacle of where you feel like I want to get to this certain point? Like, what is the ultimate goal?
I won't be here to see it. I want my stuff to outlive me.
100.
Man, the poetic. I'm getting real poetic vibes, man. Because these answers is real poetic, bro. Like, shit, I ain't even. Hey, man, that's the first time I heard.
Create something that's gonna live for forever.
I don't even want to be here to see it, right? Man. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, because I know you got, a lot on your plate, while you're here in Houston. First of all,
you in Dallas, man. He just an H-Town guy. Oh, man. Golly.
I miss home,
I do want to add something, man. I don't know if we're going to circle back. You talked about acting.
Yeah.
I'm a movie head. So, man, I don't know. Can you have this movie already been released yet? Or
well, I have my web series is on YouTube right now. You can look it up. It's called Never Change.
Okay.
I did J.D. Williams, he played on Wire, played bowling.
Yep.
Me and him did a short with Slim. It was his project, but he didn't really continue it. He actually put it out on YouTube. I have 2 other projects that just got wrapped up, but they didn't release it yet, so I can't really speak on them. That's their project.
Okay, but Never Change YouTube.
Never Change.
I'll definitely check that out.
How did you find your acting bag, though? Because, a lot of dudes think they entertaining, but getting in front of that camera is one thing. How did you find your acting bag?
Okay, so my religion is Muslim, right?
Okay.
So every Ramadan, are you familiar with that? I try to add something to my resume, and I always wanted to do acting, but I was scared.
Okay.
So I went and she's acting coach named Wendy McKenzie. Shout out to Wendy. She's raw. Like when you come in there, you act like she be like, "What you think about that?" And I'm like, I ain't gonna say me either. Like she tell you how it is.
They say it's real raw in the movie industry.
It's rough. So what happened? she gave me a script and she said, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I just want you to read it, and then deliver it.
Yeah.
I memorized it. So when she came back, I said, she's like, how long you been acting? I'm like, I haven't. And she like, I'm like, nah. Like I'm like, I'm not. And then we was doing like showcases and different things like in her classes, and everybody kept saying like, you know, one dude came to me and Notori from Power was there, and I did ghosts on the ghost scenes, and they stopped me like, man, you killing this, you know, and everybody's like, yo, how many movies you been in? I'm like, man, I just picked this up trying to like, you know,
it's natural,
and I just, you know, I substitute anything I've been through. They say that's one thing I acting. They say don't act. Yeah. You know, substitute. So if, you know, whatever, if it's a sad role, think of something that made you sad, but put it into this character. Yeah. If it's something that made you happy, put it into this, you know.
Find your muse.
Yeah.
So like as far as the acting and everything like that, are you still kind of pursuing that, or like how do you prioritize the music with the art? Because, you know, they can overlap sometimes as far as like the effort you got to put in if you still pursuing this as far as, you know, going to film, you know, going to film industry, or actually going to why the fuck am I having a brain for it? Auditions? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to put in work in both lanes. So is it one where like rapping would never take a back seat to anything? It's just like I have a passion or a hobby in acting.
Well, music gonna be with me forever. That's like my therapy. Yeah. And it can never really overlap in the sense of like everything I'm doing, I'm trying to build myself. So the music just be a soundtrack to this project. You know, I write my own scripts and everything. So now and then if it turns into say a big role with something else, that's just building the platform. Yeah. Everything you do is supposed to be linked to something else. Because nobody really cares about an actor, nobody really cares about a rapper. You know, they want to care about what you bring to the table. Yeah. You build your brand, and that's how you last, because a lot of people can hear today and go on tomorrow because they have nothing else. We focus on business. We try to build businesses up so we can always pursue this. Yeah. So you can say, not you per se, but like, oh, he ain't never really get on. He ain't never really do this. And then there's a bunch of businesses behind me. Yeah. You can't tell me because I could do everything that this person that's quote unquote on is doing.
Don't pay attention to the platform that's in front of you. Yeah. Understand the moves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody can be very popular but not have no cash behind closed doors. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So moving silent sometimes might be actually more effective for some people, but it's just never pay attention to the numbers that's in front of you. Mm-hmm. Those numbers that's below the surface are the ones that really move mountains. So before we got here, let everybody know what you got coming up. So again, your new album that's coming out. Mm-hmm. Do you have a date when that's coming out?
Nah, I know it's top of the year. Top of the year, either January, February. Okay. Crown Heavy. Yeah is out right now. We pushing that real hard. The video should be finished editing as we speak while I'm here. It's getting done, and that's gonna be on all like BET Jams, everything. You know, on the major platforms. I mean, we just knocking out project after project. You know, I don't know, man. We working. And
so then also direct them to where they can find your online web series. Also, okay. You know, I want them to consume everything.
Yeah. Well, you go on YouTube. You can type in A Street Visions, and it's on a series called Never Change, or you can type in Never Change. It's about 8 to 10 episodes up there. People actually was begging for a season 2, but it's kind of hard to get the actors to get it together.
It's a lot that goes into a web series. I think
I can act. Yeah, I mean, you know
what's crazy? You look familiar. I don't know where you're from, but you look real familiar.
You know, it's always a nigga, man. I know that nigga from somewhere.
But, hey, seriously, Slick, man, I see. You know what I'm saying? You build your foundation, and you building it with your friends and your crew. Mm-hmm. You know, in light of what happened this week with Casanova, it looks like New York in that area, it's like a foundation. Like it's like they have the blueprint to call these RICO laws on rappers. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to Swartz offline. Like at first I thought it was bullshit. Like, man, maybe they're assuming, but he was like, nah, it's hip hop police.
Like, do you feel like the stakes are higher now being a rapper, as far as like, especially the last couple months, the shootings, the arrests and everything? Like, do you feel as though, or do you have a fear of getting too big sometimes, of like what comes with the price of fame?
Yeah, when you come from where we come from, we already dealing with it. It's just that once the camera's on, y'all get to see it. Yeah. And as far as a lot of things, we're not educated by the people that made the mistakes before us. So with that, we making a lot of dumb decisions, and then it actually spotlights us. So, you know, if you scream, you know, like I can't be stopped and things like that, you actually lighting a fire for somebody to say, I'm gonna try to stop you. Yeah. Not saying that if you don't say it won't happen, but you actually
inviting the energy.
Yeah, you know, and energy is everything. So
100.
You gotta just pick your poison.
Move wise, man. That's all you can do, man, and just stay true to yourself.
For sure.
You know, a lot of times shit goes left when you try to be something or somebody you're not. So, again, let everybody know where they can find you. Also online, social media.
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm on there all day. I live on Instagram.
Okay.
Chaos _NCJ.
Okay, man. And again, this Newark, New Jersey in the building, man.
Sure.
The way you said it, man, they say it so quick, Newark. You know what I'm saying? Like, we putting all the syllables in it, you know. we Southern down here, you know what I'm saying? No, but man, I appreciate you pulling up on us, for real, man. Again, welcome to Texas. Dog.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Enjoy your evening.
I hope you have a great time down here, man. Because I know it's real. It's kind of locked up. It's locked up there, man.
Oh,
so
man. Ain't no conduct about it.
Get it all out your system out here. Man. You know what I'm saying? You got your boys over here. Make sure y'all enjoy yourselves down here, my G. Man, again, man, this is my boy Chaos in the building. And y'all check out the new single he got with TSU Surf, man. But also, like you said, man, you tapping into your heart, man. So let that shit be the one that y'all vibe with. And keep authentic niggas in style, man.
Yeah.
Man, this your boy Antoine the Source.
Man, it's knowledge, man. Keep achieving out here, man.
Man, this Sessions with Source, bro.
Big homie, big brother, big crown, big hustler, big diamonds and clusters. Pull up, we clutching. Automatic, no clutching. You touch me, they purging. I'm important for certain. Motivating the struggle. Either struggle or bubble. I got mine out the muscle. Either hate you or love you. I don't play in between. Jeopardizing my team like trust the key with a fiend. I don't answer the rumors. Held the hood like a newborn. And the dumpster like Brenda. What I do to protect us. Y'all been frauds like scammers. Stash of work bananas. Y'all was waiting for Santa. I was bottling snow. I'm a real one for show. I'm a real one for show. I had to say that twice.